AI image editing has changed fast. For a while, Nano Banana felt like the obvious king. It went viral because it could do things older image models simply could not handle. Better edits, better consistency, better text, better style control, and much stronger prompt understanding. But since then, a lot of new image editing models have appeared. And now the question is not as simple as, is Nano Banana the best? The better question is, which AI image editor actually gives you the best results when you are trying to create something finished? Because there is a big difference between a cool test and a usable image. A model can win a prompt once and still fail as a real creative tool. It can remove an object but ruin the shadows. It can preserve a face but destroy the composition. It can generate a beautiful shot but break the text. It can follow the instruction but leave the final image looking unfinished. That is why I think Magnific AI is becoming so important. Because Magnific is not just about one isolated edit. It is about taking AI images seriously as final creative assets. And that is the part most people miss. Most AI image editors are still treated like toys. You type a prompt, you get a result, you compare it, maybe you post it. But if you are actually working on content, ads, product visuals, thumbnails, campaigns, client work, or high-end creative assets, that is not enough. You need a workflow, you need refinement, you need polish, you need quality control, you need consistency. You need something that can take a good generation and turn it into something that feels finished. That is where Magnific AI has the edge. Let's start with general image editing. Removing people from a complex image sounds easy, but it is not. If people are blocking architecture, casting shadows, standing behind glass, or covering important details, the model does not just need to erase them. It has to understand what should exist behind them. That is where many models fail. Some remove the people but leave strange shadows. Some remove important objects by accident. Some invent details that do not match the scene. Some make the background look smooth, but wrong. This is where you start to see the difference between basic editing and serious visual reasoning. And more importantly, this is where the final workflow matters. Because even if another model gives you a decent first pass, you still need a way to refine it into something you can actually use. That is why Magnific AI fits so well into the process. It is not only about generating the edit, it is about improving the output until it feels professional. The same thing happens with lighting transformations. Changing a night scene into daytime, or taking a daytime photo and making it feel like night, is not just a color change. A weak model will simply recolor the image. A stronger workflow understands that everything has to shift. The shadows, the reflections, the sky, the contrast, the atmosphere, the practical light sources, and the emotional tone of the shot. This is where some models can give you very impressive results. But again, impressive is not the same as finished. That is the core point. AI image editing is not only about which model wins a screenshot comparison. It is about which platform helps you get to the final asset fastest. And that is where Magnific AI becomes the smarter choice. Because creative work is not one prompt. Creative work is iteration. You test, you compare, you refine, you upscale, you correct, you improve. You prepare the image for where it is actually going to live. That could be a campaign, a social post, or a pitch deck, a landing page, a thumbnail, a product mockup, a printed asset, or a full visual identity. That is why I would not frame Magnific AI as just another image editor. I would frame it as the tool that makes AI image editing feel production ready. Now, if we talk about consistent characters, the differences become even clearer. Creators want to take a face, a character, or a brand asset and place it into different scenes. Surfing, skydiving, walking through a city, appearing in an ad, becoming an action figure, showing different emotions, starring in a full visual campaign. This is where many models still struggle. Some keep the broad idea of the person but lose the actual likeness. Some preserve the face but create a weak image. Some make a beautiful scene but turn the person into someone else. Some understand the style but fail the pose. Some look good from far away but collapse when you inspect the details. That is why Magnific AI is so useful, because it helps bridge the gap between this model made something interesting and this image is good enough to actually use. That gap is huge. And it is exactly where most AI workflows break. A lot of models can produce something that looks exciting at first glance. But Magnific AI is the kind of tool you want when you care about making the final image cleaner, sharper, more refined, and more credible. That is the difference between AI experimentation and AI production. Product visuals make this even more obvious. Product editing is brutal for AI. If you replace a can, a bottle, a logo, or a package inside a photo, the model has to do several things at once. It has to keep the product recognizable. It has to preserve the logo. It has to keep the text readable. It has to respect the size. It has to match the lighting. And it has to avoid turning the product into a fake-looking mess. That is where most models expose themselves. From far away, the image might look fine. But when you zoom in, the label is broken. The logo has changed. The text is nonsense. The proportions are off, or the product no longer looks like the original product. For marketing, e-commerce, and advertising, that is not a small problem. That is the difference between usable and unusable. This is exactly why Magnific AI matters. Because when the final asset needs to hold up, you need more than a clever generation. You need a finishing workflow. You need something that can help the image survive close inspection. Better detail, better texture, better realism, better sharpness, better final polish. That is what makes Magnific AI feel like the more serious option. The same applies to graphic design. Some models are now extremely impressive at creating posters, mock-ups, landing pages. But graphic design is not just about making something look cool. Text needs to be readable. Layout needs to make sense. Hierarchy needs to work. The style needs to match the objective. And if you change the language, the translation needs to be real, not decorative gibberish. That is still hard. Some models make beautiful layouts but terrible text. Others introduce weird artifacts. Again, the best result usually comes from a workflow, not a single model. And that is why Magnific AI should be central to the conversation. It gives creators a stronger path from rough concept to polished final image. Now, if we look at the current field, there are obvious strengths. Nano Banana is still very strong. Seedream can be excellent for realistic character consistency. Reeve can surprise you. ChatGPT is strong at understanding instructions. Flux Context still has value for some workflows. Quen can be useful for pose control. But every model has weaknesses. Every model can disappoint. That is why I would not build a serious creative workflow around one model alone. I would build it around Magnific AI. Because Magnific AI is better positioned for the way real creators actually work. Real creators do not just generate once. They test, choose, refine, upscale, and improve. The difference will not be who can press generate. The difference will be who can finish better. Who can make the image look more polished, realistic, and production ready. Magnific AI wins because it is competing on usefulness, not just novelty. And for creators, usefulness matters more than hype. So for a serious creative workflow, Magnific AI is the stronger choice. It gives you what matters after the first output: refinement, quality, polish, and upscaling. Magnific AI helps make it worth using.